Hey guys, Chris here, and today I'm bringing you a video about what I bring around the world with me to create my vlogs. What equipment I have, what I use it for. Hopefully you find this video helpful enough that maybe it'll influence some of your decisions on what gear to buy when traveling the world and taking photos and video. This is a vlogging episode because I use mainly all this equipment to vlog my trip around the world. I'm here in Sydney at the minute, and yeah, let's get started with our first piece of equipment. So firstly, the most important piece of equipment I've actually found that's helped me with my vlogs this year has been this little bad boy, the Canon G7X Mark II. Now, it's just a tiny little point and shoot camera, but shoots really good 1080p 60 frames a second video, and it's got really good battery life too. I've got a 16 gig card in the bottom. I pretty much charge it every day when I've finished importing all the footage to my computer. I just put it on charge overnight and it's ready to go the next morning. Audio is really good for a point and shoot camera, and it's got some actually pretty good photo features too. The most important thing of it is, especially for vlogging, is it's got this tilt screen. This tilt screen is super important for when I'm vlogging with my tripod and I can see what I'm doing. I can hold it here and I can see myself. I like its click wheel here. You can program this wheel to do whatever you want to do. I've got it on focus at the minute. I think you can put it on zoom. You can change settings with this wheel. I don't really use it much actually. I just use the autofocus, all the auto settings. I know a lot of video people out there would think that's really newbie and kind of not a good idea, but actually for me it's a great idea because it means I know the footage that I'm taking from this isn't going to be problematic or corrupt in any way. I know that it's going to be fine for exposure, fine for audio, and it does a job. You know, when you're running and gunning around the streets, traveling the world, all you want to do is be able to capture some footage that's actually reliable and decent, and this camera here is a must-buy for vloggers who want to travel. Super light, super easy to throw in your backpack, and really good purchase. Next up, we've got the GoPro HD Hero 5. Now, again, a super important piece of equipment for a travel vlogger or for anyone wanting to go traveling the world. This can obviously, it's waterproof up to 10 meters in depth. It shoots some great 120 frames a second 1080p slow-mo video. It shoots 4K video. It's got a million mounts to go with it. Obviously, they've got the GoPro Karma drone and the steady gimbal thing you can use it with. It's got voice recognition, which is really good for. I've used it for when I'm driving. In a lot of my driving shots, I've been able to turn it on or turn it off just with voice recognition, so I'm not playing with the buttons. You can just say GoPro start recording, and it records. It takes burst photos. It's been really handy actually, and like I say again, it's just super lightweight, super versatile, and the fact that it's got a screen on the back really helps. I spent 3 weeks in Byron Bay filming people on their first surf lessons, and I just got in the water with this. Shot some 120 frames a second 1080p footage, and the fact that I could see what I was shooting on the back of the screen was really handy. Really big thing, especially if you're going around Asia and Australia and stuff. If you want to travel and take this in the something in the water, the GoPro Hero 5 is without doubt the king for that. Next up, third most important camera I have in my arsenal is the DJI Mavic Pro. Now, you may have seen my video where I've just broke my other one. This is my new Mavic Pro that I bought here in Australia, and there's not much more you can say about the Mavic that is just absolutely awesome for travel, videos, photos. Footage is just incredible. Batteries last for about 30 minutes each. I currently own 3 batteries actually. One from my old one, I bought a spare one, and I've got the one from the new one too. Really handy now. I've got about an hour and a half of flight time, which is just great. The controller again, something really small and handy. It's like almost like a Sega games console controller. My iPhone 7 just fits in the bottom, and within 2 minutes I'm ready to fly and go with it. So it's really cool, really handy. The footage you get with it's incredible. Make sure though, if you're going to buy a Mavic Pro, remember that the first time you take it out, always touch the screen to tell it where to focus. That was when I first ever flew a Mavic. I got some what I thought was really good footage, came back and it was all blurry because it was out of focus. You must tap the screen to tell it where to focus, unlike the Phantom 4s and the Phantom 3s and so on. Next up, I've got a Seagate 1TB passport hard drive. Again, really good for backing up all my vlogs. It means I'm not clogging up my computer. Pretty cheap too, and super lightweight. Again, all can fit in a bag. You can just fit this in a little side pocket, and it just keeps all the footage you get, all the photos you get, and it's really handy. I've also got my passport, obviously very important. Having a British passport, I've learned as I've travelled the world, is really handy and really valuable. And just know that 200 to 500 years ago, us conquering the world has kind of paid dividends now when it comes to us travelling the world as British travellers. It's pretty easy. You just go where you want to go with this nice burgundy book. Additionally, I'd also recommend getting one of these. This is a little pocket juice battery charger. Always really important for traveling around when you're going around the world and you're not close to any mains points for ages. You can just charge your phone, charge your GoPro, charge anything with a USB. This one's a bit cheap and it lasts for maybe 2 phone charges, but you can get one that can last for 5-6 phone charges, and are really good for charging USB things. They're just little things that you can throw in your bag, and yeah, really handy stuff. One of the last few things is my Apple MacBook Pro. I think it's a 2015 version, and touch wood, has not let me down since. It's been one of my best ever purchases, going from a Windows to a Mac, and it's super versatile and portable. It is the heaviest thing, I'd say, in my camera bag, and you can really notice when it's not in your bag compared to when it is. Just getting any footage from phones or cameras that have the wireless feature onto your Mac is super easy, much easier than Windows stuff, and like I say, this is built like a tank. I have dropped it once or twice, got a few scuff marks on it, but it works really well. And I've also got Adobe Premiere Pro on here and the whole CC suite, which I would recommend is just super versatile and great for travel vlogging. You can use Photoshop, Lightroom for all the cool photos you get around the world, and Premiere Pro and After Effects for all the cool vlogs and videos you want to make. Last few things, if anyone wonders the make of my sunglasses that I've been wearing around the world in my vlogs, these are made by Tens. They were unfortunately sat on by one of my friends in Orlando, and kind of crushed, but actually, again, the durability of these glasses, they work perfectly fine. Tens, I'm not being paid to sell their stuff, but if you want to pay me, by all means, they are the sunglasses that I wear. They've got a really cool orange filter in here, so even when you're back home in Whitley Bay or miserable England, you can look through these glasses and everything looks like the Costa del Sol. So when I've been through Thailand and Australia, can you imagine what this looks like anyways with this filter on? Incredible. Lastly, I've switched cameras to my Canon G7X here so you can see the video recording element, but I'm also going to go through my monster of a camera. This is what I use for all my professional shoots, and I don't really vlog with this camera as much as a lot of people do vlog with a camera. The fact that the screen only tilts to here means that it's kind of awkward to use, and also I find that this is annoying. The rattle of these things that you can't take off means that your audio can just sound rattly sometimes. Also, the fact that it's a mirrorless camera, but effectively like a DSLR, it has its own settings that you can change the ISO to auto, you can change the white balance to auto, you can change the focus to automatic. So when you're holding it out in front of you, it's fine. But it's stuff like the shutter speeds and the f-stops that you have to keep changing if you go from out from outside to inside and whatnot. Whereas the Canon G7X is so much easier. You just let it go and it just adjusts it all to what you need. If you want to make vlogs that are a lot more technical than mine are, I just make vlogs for ease and to keep the fun and for quickness. A lot of people make these cool slow motion trendy vlogs, which are fine, which maybe hopefully one day mine will ascend to. But right now, my experience, travel vlogs, you have to, if you're going to make one a day, you just really have to work quickly with equipment that you can rely on, because you also don't want to miss out on the experience. You don't want to constantly be thinking of the photos that you take and the video that you're taking, because then you're not there in the moment. You're not really living the experience of what you're actually going to see. If it's diving in the Great Barrier Reef, if it's going on a boat trip in Laos, you really want to enjoy that experience. You don't want to be concentrating. You don't want to be that guy as well on a trip that's always got this out taking photos, not thinking or concentrating on the trip, not being there in the moment. All the footage before this clip was shot on that, and yeah, it's been really good for me so far. I'm looking to get a wider lens and a more narrow lens and zoom lens in the future. But these lenses, one thing I'd say about the Sony cameras, they're fantastic. They have really revolutionized the game in the last 2 years. Their lenses are super expensive, and kind of it's just awkward to get. Yeah, there's only one version of all these lenses, you know, and whereas a Canon, you can get a cheap version like a Sigma lens that you can put on your Canon full frame body. It's a lot cheaper way to go about it, getting a Canon body and then getting Canon or cheap version lenses, whereas the Sony lenses are the only ones that work with the Sony cameras, and it's an expensive way to go. So if I had my time again, I'd probably actually stick with my Canon setup and get cheaper lenses for traveling. If you can save money so you can spend it on accommodation or food or whatever, if you can save money on your equipment, then I would definitely do so. So this is my Sony a7S II, been great for what I needed it for, but I don't vlog with it, but all my images and all my kind of pro looking video comes from this. Last thing, I don't really need to go over this much, but this is an iPhone 7, brand new up to date, and 128 gigabytes hard drive, which is crucial. Before this I had a 5S, and it was a 16 gigabyte hard drive, and it just would fill up all the time. And I've met people out here who've constantly had to delete photos because it kept filling up, because all the travel photos were filling up their hard drive. Get a big phone with a big hard drive, and you never have to worry about it. And I'd just say the iPhone's so much better, like I said earlier, for AirDrop and stuff, so you can go from phone to MacBook to any other Apple. You can put stuff on the Apple TV, and it just integrates so much better with especially with the MacBook. So guys, that's my tech travel equipment setup for all these vlogs that I've been doing and everything that'll be coming in the future. Hopefully one day I'll be able to afford the ability to keep improving on it, and hopefully bring you better and more cool tech savvy vlogs. Please click subscribe down below, and if you can give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, that really helps me out. And go like my Instagram and Facebook page. Again, it really helps me out. If you enjoy this type of content, more will be on the way. And yeah, I'll see you in the next daily vlog.